Howdy folks, Laxo here, and today we're going to be doing some team critiquing videos here. Tell you what, first one I wanted to do was I wanted to check out Karna, and then I'll do 7, then I'll do Cristiano, then I'll kind of just bounce around. I'll do Azura too. Have a little bit of fun. Yeah, let's hop into it here. First things first, let's mess with the volume, because I haven't messed with my volume yet. Alright, I think volume is all set, and we are good to go. Let's go ahead and hop into it here and have a little bit of fun. First things first. Let's hop into it. MW Karna. Actually, funny thing is, I did not plan on getting to the top 50 in Grandmasters until probably like a day or two, or I'm sorry, until probably the very, very last day. Because, let's turn this down just a little here. Because the way it usually goes for me is I just do my free attacks, and then wherever I end up getting to, I just push the last day and, you know, try and get into the top 10 or so. But the way it went this time was when I did my promotion from Masters to Grandmasters, for some reason it pushed me all the way up until like 290, 300, around there. Usually I get dropped around like 400 or 500. So it saved me 2 days of free attacks. Because again, usually it takes me a lot longer to get there. So, yeah. I wouldn't have been able to get to number 1 if it wasn't for that, I guess. Actually, another reason why I wouldn't, or another thing that saved me from getting to number 1 was I was talking to my good friend Geen, and he gave me a couple tips and tricks about helping me with my team power. Not my team, my team power, because apparently I was severely slacking and lacking. So he helped me out a little bit. Without even asking. I mean, he went out of his way and messaged me. He's like, "Hey, Lax, I just want to let you know that I watch your videos and you're doing something wrong that I'd like to help you out on." So I'm like, "Oh, cool. I mean, by all means, I will never turn down advice. If somebody wants to talk to me and help me out, give me advice, this and that, I always say yes, regardless of whatever the subject is, life, games, personal things. I will try to always accept advice. You know, that's one thing I've always learned in life is if somebody's coming from a good place and they're trying to help you out, listen." But anyways, that's round number 1. I think let's swap to round number 2. So, something that I want to mention here about these teams is, oh, actually, right off the bat, I noticed that I did that wrong. I was supposed to have, I'm supposed to have these 2 units swapped here. The reason being is because, first I have Grimjow Rage, and then he usually gets off the res proc from Nemu, and then I have Kazushini Rage after, and then he kills the strongest unit after the fact. So if you do run these 2 in the same team like I do, make sure you swap these 2 to have Grim go first and then Kazushini go next, because again, if somebody attacks you or you attack them, you're going to want to get that free res proc off before. Another thing I'm doing here is on Renji here, you see how he gets all these taunts? I am actually running the Warsoul of Shattering on him for that reason. A lot of people have, I mean, rightfully so, they like to run him as a tank, you know, toss armor on him, toss vitality on him, you know, I don't know, Orihime Warsoul, anything like that, you know, to keep him alive. But what I've learned is if you just give him Shattering, that increases his effect accuracy a lot, and he could just kill units right out of the gate, as opposed to, I'm sorry, not kill units, CC the units right out of the gate, as opposed to just surviving, you know, because a lot of times the survival is what is very, very key, you know. Gotta get rid of, yeah. It's all about action control. If you can control the actions of the battle, you win the game. That's why rage control is so popular and all that other stuff, because you need to control the way of the battle. Alright. Anyways, am I gonna lose this one? Looks like I might lose this one. Let's see, Kazushini's still alive. He's gonna die to burn though. Yeah. Looks like I'm gonna lose this one. Oh, what? Has he died yet? I don't think he has. He has. Okay, I might actually win this one still. Let's see. So you're telling me there's a chance? Can anybody tell me what line that movie's from? So you're telling me there's a chance? Actually, here I definitely lose. No way I survived this. Let's see. Huh? Yeah, now for sure I'm dead. So close too, man. Feels bad. Alright, next round. That actually ended really, really close. Could have been anybody's game. Actually, if I had swapped the two units, and Kazushini had gotten a crit, I would have won right out of the gate. But we're not going to talk about that. So, one thing I have noticed is I do feel like Dangai Ichigo is falling off a little. And this is what I was really afraid of. If you guys go back to, I think it was my first video I ever made on this channel. My very first video I ever made on this channel was Dangai. I got Dangai to 7-star. And, yeah, we'll get in, yeah, I've already been over why I made the channel, stuff like that. But I got him to 7-star because I was reading the Discord. I was listening to, I was listening to a couple different channels and stuff like that, and everybody was saying, even on the Discord everywhere, people were just muttering about how terrible Dangai was. And I was like, I don't think he's going to be that bad. I looked at his damage. I did some calculations in my head with all the extra crit damage, with the possible attack and damage numbers that we're looking at. I did comparisons to Vastalorde, and I'm like, if he can hit for twice as hard as Vastalorde because of, you know, the crit damage, crit chance, and just the damage rate you get extra, then he can actually be probably one of the best damaging units in the game. So I took that chance. I got him to 7-star. I maxed him out. And yes, he is really, really good. And the reason being is because his crit damage. He has so much extra crit damage that he can kill on crit. Now, the problem is he has to crit, and he can only get up to 100% crit chance, and that is entirely dependent upon the enemy's crit damage. And the more and more this game goes on, the more and more crit resist chance that the enemy is going to be getting, which means the less likely he is going to be critting. However, you can counteract that. If you can counteract that with Warsouls or characters to lower the crit resist chance of the enemy team, then, hey, would you look at that? You're back in business. And again, you could do that with a couple different units. You know, you can have any Azure Dragon, and then I think you could toss on, is it the Rukia Warsoul that reduces the crit resist chance of the enemy? And just like that, you're back in business with crits. However, with that, then you lose other units that you could be using on different teams. So it's like a double-edged sword, you know, what can you do? But yes, if you do not have him at a really high star level, 6-star, 7-star, with some really good hones or Warsouls, then Dangai Ichigo isn't too effective. But if you can get around that, then he is absolutely nuts. Alright, but anyways, with that lecture about Danga Ichigo, let's move on to battle number 4 here. Okay. Let's see. What team am I running here? Okay. Yeah. So with this team, I'm actually running, I think it is the map Warsaw, which gives extra crit chance to your team. On, no, maybe it's the map, maybe it's the other Warsaw. On, shoot, what's their name here? To give crit chance to my team. So, I do like to run them with a, Kazushini, because Kazushini doesn't have 100% crit chance, because I don't use a crit chance Warsaw on him. So, I do like to run them with Kazushini, because then I can get 100% crit chance on Kazushini's opening rage. Which, if I had him on Kazushini's team in the round 1, I believe, no, round 2, then I would have gotten that crit. With that, looks like we are moving on to round 3. You know what? Since I'm sitting here talking, I might as well just continue to talk a little bit more here. I've been making these videos for a while now. Several years now. Or no, it's been like 2 years. It's been over 2 years now, I think. Every time I post a video about World Championship, I always get a comment. And again, I try not to give any light of day to the negative comments, but people always message me and say, hey, why don't you show any attacks with, of the top teams? The reason why I haven't been showing any attacks from and with the top teams is because I've been trying to get this agenda across that this game is free to play friendly. You can play free to play and still compete. And all my attacks you've probably seen recently, probably at least the last like 2 or 3 World Championships, have all, I believe, mostly been on my free to play account to try and, get the thought across of we can play free to play and still have fun and win, Which, by the way, my free to play account did make it to World Championship. I think it was at I think I got to like 140 or 160, rank 140, 160, something like that. I can't recall exactly. I got there like 3 days ago or something. But, yeah. Anyways, I quickly got knocked back down to Masters, because the problem with that is anybody that is in, I think, Masters and they're trying to get to GM, if they beat somebody in GM, I believe they knock them back down to Masters and just take their spot, which I think is kind of whack. I think what it should do is just push them down to the next spot that has a bot in it, and the last bot should be knocked off. That way it can keep everybody that's in GM, and it would help promote everybody that's outside of Masters to get to Masters, and help everybody that is in Masters promote to GM. I feel like that would really help the not just experience gap, but the last like day or two where everybody's just throwing out attacks like crazy trying to get to GM, because there are so many bots, and like the ranks between like 200 and rank 50 around there's just all kinds of bots. It's just littered with bots, and those bots take so long to bump down to fall off that if they just naturally bump the last bot off every single time there was an attack, then it would promote more. It would promote not just the better people would be at the top, but it would promote more activity and people trying to push their way up to Masters and Grandmasters. Because one thing I've noticed is on my free-to-play account is when I was doing my attacks to get up to, this is the last like 3 seasons ago, even the last like day or two, I was seeing some of the top guys that should be, top 50, top 100 guys in Masters, because they'd promote themselves to GM, and then another bigger dog would demote them back to Masters. And it's like, okay, well, I just spent, 3 or 4 days working my way through GM, and then I get promoted back down to Masters immediately, and it's not ideal for that to happen, but I understand it does happen. Can't really control the way the game plays itself. You could only control the way you played the game. So I guess, in the everlasting words of gamers, get good, scrub, because that's just what we're supposed to do. Here's what we at now. Round 6. I don't even think I've really paid attention to a single battle, and just kind of been ranting a bit here. Oh, wow, that did a ton of damage. Jeez. Alright, round 7 here. What's the score? Oh, jeez, it is 5-1. Jeez. Look at that. Huge rage from Yamamoto. 2 of them. I got 2 of them. Huge. Another thing I've noticed playing on my main account is how important some of the units are that I never put stuff in. I never put any resources into, We're talking Grimjow right here, for example. We're talking Yamamoto. We're talking Kazushini. Actually, even Heineko. I never really put much into Heineko either. These units are actually pretty strong, like insanely strong and usable, and I never got into them because I never really gave 2 thoughts about them. But it is what it is. That's why on my UR tier list I always have a guest to help me grade those characters I never got, Anyways, moving on. Let's look at team critiquing here. So we're talking MW Karna. Again, he's a top player, So let's take a look at his teams. First up here, we have Aizen. So we have 2 turtles. That's good to get the damage reduction off. The problem with these 2 turtles is that Unohana is extremely weak, so if she dies early, then you just lose the damage reduction from the passive Aizen. So if you're gonna run Aizen with another, if you're gonna run Aizen and use his passive effectively, make sure you have either 3 tortoises on there, or you have 2 strong ones. So a little bit of a problem there, but it is what it is. Next up, we have... Okay, another problem I see here is... Yes, these 2 do work together pretty well, but Ashisogi Jizo, when he crits, he doesn't do too much damage, so the extra crit damage and whatnot from Kura isn't really going to help too much. Gin, I like to use him as more of like a utility player as opposed to a damage unit, so I mean, it works, especially because you have the twins here, so it works, but these 2 you could probably mess around with, run 2 different units in there, possibly a stronger or more tankier tortoise. Other than that, not a bad team, pretty typical team. The reason why he is running these 2 though is because I believe it's so you only need like 1 unit to die that has poison on them, and then Ashisogi Jizo can rage again, and then rage again, and then rage again. So yes, if you do get her rage off, you get the increase rage recovery rate, and then with Gin, he does the same thing as well. It's just really nasty, especially if you can toss in another rage regen unit. It's disgusting what you can do with Ashisoka Jizo. So, good team. I like that one a lot. I'd probably give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8. An 8 out of 10. Solid team. I do like it. Next up, we have a Soul Hall of... Here, okay, Cotton. We have Cotton Kilcut's Soul Hall. Good Soul Hall. Get some Rage regen. That's good. Or get some Rage back. Not a bad team comp. I do like to run Ulquiorra with a I'm going to hit you hard first round. I feel like he's kind of a wasted unit here. Aizen, you don't really need extra Rage regen, so he's fine right there. Running Aizen with Nemu, great call. You don't necessarily need Rukia in this lineup. Yes, she will boost Aizen a bit. I guess Aizen's only at 6 stars, so he could use a little bit extra damage. But these two units you don't really need in this team comp. You could take these two units out, use them in different team comps that could actually use them. Maybe toss in other units that are more controlling, because Aizen by himself, he does all the damage you need to win a battle. You don't need extra buffs here, because Aizen will just one-shot a team outright. As you saw, when he did rage, he killed like 4 of my members immediately, like right out of the gate. So with that, it's a decent team comp. I would rather have these guys on different teams though, because they control rage. So I'd probably give this one a 5.5, maybe a 6 out of 10. Like, not bad, not good, pretty average. But from MW Karna, I'd probably expect a little better from him because he's, again, a top player. Next up here, we have... Actually, you know what? Also, with how low his initiative is at 40k, that's very low. He's probably expecting to go second, which means he's probably hoping that what happened is he would get, these 3 or all 5 units to go off round 1. So I do see his go-to there. So with that, he is expected to go second because he only has 40k initiative. I'd probably bump that up to a 7. I'll give it an even 7, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Next up here. But still, even then, you don't really need these 2 units on the team if you're looking to one-shot the team. So maybe take her out, put in a different unit, and then toss her down to a different team. Moving on. Alright, so we're running a Soul Hall here. That Soul Hall would be... Okay. Sodeno, Soul Hall, not bad. I do like running Sodeno. I do like running these freeze units with each other because they do get rage back and higher rage procs. So they do work pretty well together. I do like running Byakuya here with one other unit that has healing reduction. However, he is running Byakuya with 5 other units that attack the entire team, so great there. Great job there. He could probably use Nini on a different team. Don't necessarily need her here, because Byakuya will kill the entire enemy team with just his rage alone. Especially if you have 5 other units attacking the entire team. So you could use Nini on a different team. Maybe swap her out for another unit that could increase rage recovery, or just rage in general, Maybe toss in, Lily. Toss in Lilinette, and that might not be a bad team comp to go to. But then again, you do need another Tiger, so I guess it is what it is. Anyways, other than that, you have a little bit of rage control. Not bad. I do like the team. Overall, I'd probably give this one like a 5.5, maybe 6 out of 10 as well. Just because he doesn't have 2 units that reduce healing. Unless he has a Warsaw on here. Gingerbread Man Warsaw that reduces healing. In that case, good team comp. But in saying that, yes, it could be better. Yeah, it is what it is. Not a bad team. A little bit of rage recovery, a little bit of purifying, a lot of CC, and healing reduction. So it has a little bit of everything. You know, not terrible, not great, not terrible. Next team comp. Right out of the gate, I don't like this team. It seems like this might be one of those teams that he just had a bunch of extra units that he threw together on a team and said, go. Yeah, this might be one of those teams that he just threw together with a bunch of extra units. Doesn't look like there's anything really going on here. One good tank in the front. Oh, I guess he is a pretty good tank. Let's be honest. Ikaku is a pretty good tank. These 3 units over here, I don't really like these 3 together. You know, you can run these 2 together, that's fine. But for this 3rd unit here, you have to have Nell. You have to have Nell in this 3rd slot. Nell without, or Ichigo without Nell is nothing. Nothing. And then if you have Kisuke Urahara here, if you have Urahara without Nell and or Stark and Soifon, he is nothing. So you need one of those 3 units to be with Urahara. You need it. Other than that, I'd probably give this team a. I mean, maybe he's trying to get the bleed proc from White Ichigo, which would make sense. But the problem is the damage buff, the passive from Ichigo here only works if the debuffs were applied before the round started. Read his passive very well, or clearly, and you'll notice that you do not get the buffs from Ichigo unless the bleeds are applied before the round starts. You need the debuffs applied before. I'd give that team a 3.5. Nothing great. Not good. Next up, round 5 here. We have not bad. We have a Soul Hall here. A lot of bleed here. I probably would have liked to have seen Stark here, and you could toss her up here and get rid of maybe get rid of a different unit. But I do like the fact that he has a free res here. Well, 85% chance with Zangetsu to get a free res, so that could work, especially if the other team like myself is running somebody to kill their back line. So not bad there. These 2 work well together. I do like running these 2 together. I also like running another bleed unit with Soifon, or if I'm not running another bleed unit, I do not run Nell. Don't run Nell with her. Nell works too well with other units. Soifon does not need Nell's help. Nell needs help, but that's too much help from Soifon. These other 3 units, I like them a lot. I do like to run Rangiku with Soifon, so great team comp. Other than that, again, running Lily as well. Great job. Keep Lily on that team. Just swap out Nell. Other than that, phenomenal team. I'd give this one a 8 and 8-0. 7.5 8-0. That's a very solid team comp. Round 6 here. I see he's going for the back row team comp kill, which is good. I think what I'd probably do here is, since you're running a lot of aggro, a lot of damage here, I'd probably swap these 2. The reason why I'd swap these 2 is because if you get enough kills with Byakuya here, you can rage again. So if you get the back rows team or the back row low enough, then you could just outright kill them, with Byakuya, and then get another rage after that. At least he didn't do something stupid like put Tosin last or something like that, Other than that, I do like running Unohana on these aggro teams, because a lot of times one of your back row or damage dealers will die, and you won't be able to rebound after that. So if one does die, most likely it'll be a weak unit in the front or something. Then you can still rebound and hopefully get the win. But other than that, not a bad team. Ichigo, he does a little bit. You know, Nell, she could be on another team. This looks like more of like a team that could be swapped out, but it's a good team nonetheless. The only thing I'd really do is maybe swap these two. Other than that, the team comp looks fine. I'd probably give it a 6.5. Maybe a 7. Maybe a 7, because he does have the units together that are working well. Just gotta maybe swap around the order a little bit, so I'd probably give it a 7. 7.5 maybe. Next here, we have, okay, I see what he's doing here. I like this team comp a lot right out of the gate, actually. Right out of the gate. So he has Hazukimaru here. Good unit, very strong unit. I'm only a little disappointed because I never really worked on him. At this rate, at this point in the game, it's too late to really work on him. But, yeah, very strong. He is running him. He is running him with other front row killing units, which is really, really solid. The only other unit that would really make this team strong is possibly Vampire Byakuya, to get the full, heal cancellation, which should be really, really strong. Yeah, you get the heal reduction from her, the extra damage, and then you get the extra just kick to the front line with him, and then you get even more kick to the front line, literal kick to the front line, with Grimjow here. So very, very strong team comp. I like this one a lot. The only thing I'd really do is I think this team would actually, all jokes aside, this team might actually work pretty well with Rukia. I know Rukia does hurt the back row of the enemy team, but Rukia might not be too bad on this team, and Byakuya might not be too bad on this team. Other than that, I like this team a lot. Ichigo, I think, was just an extra unit that he needed to get a soul haul with, so he tossed him in there. So this is just kind of a leftover unit, but then again, you have other units that could help out as well. So I like this team comp a lot. I'm giving this one a 7.8. I'll give this team probably an 8, maybe an 8.5. I like this team comp a lot. Very creative, very good. With that is the end of that one. It is always fun to do those, to do the high-end team critiques, because you guys will even notice that even some of the best players in the game will have non-optimal teams. Like myself, even some of my teams are pretty awful. And yeah, us big dogs, or us, higher end players, we can get away with it more often of having bad teams because our units are just too strong for the mid to lower tier players. But with enough skill, you can get around it. With that, guys, I'm wrapping this one up. If you guys enjoy this content, hit the like, subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Feel free to join my Discord. Link will be in the description. And as per usual, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace. Peace.